Well, the first three episodes of The Boys hit Amazon Prime Video last night, and yeah, I stayed up to watch them all because I like The Boys. So let me give you what works and what doesn't work, in my opinion, so far in season four.
Bring me delicious milkshake.
If we're ever gonna win against monsters, we need to start acting human.
You're all fucking welcome.
So we're going to start off on the positive side. Let's talk about the things on season four that works, because I think there's a lot that does work. First things first, Sister Sage coming in as being this most intelligent person on Earth, seeing kind of her coming in and standing up to Homelander and making a lot of interesting, good decisions in terms of Votland. I definitely love this character so far, and I think there's a lot of questions to Sister Sage and her motivations. And are there going to be any ulterior motivations? She's somebody who clearly thinks on a level higher than what Homelander does, and you can tell that she's respected for that with him in the Seven a little bit, and just overall is making this the Seven and Bot area, if they listen to her, working like a well-oiled machine. Almost like a very AI type boss in my mind, to where you're having to try and figure out, are you on her path or on your own path? And I guess Sister Stage, as a new member of the Seven, as just a new character to the series for me, worked extremely, extremely well. I think Firecracker, yes, she's very big commentary on maybe the loud conservative media movement, and that could be whatever. But I liked her interaction with Starlight in episode 3 and learning why she is so anti Starlight, and kind of getting her motivations and kind of, understanding that she's peddling BS because these people don't have much else to cling on. So why not give them a story to cling on that makes their lives feel like they're meaningful? I think it's a really interesting commentary. I think it's a really interesting newer character that usually can get forgotten. And I'm enjoying the new member of the Seven on the Firecracker as well. The biggest plus so far to me has been just Homelander having a midlife crisis. We're talking about his hair kind of turning gray or needing it dyed in some parts. There is this annoyance that nobody, but up until Sister Sage, nobody is willing to tell him what needs to happen or come up with a better idea than them. They're all just his yes men. The fact that he's kind of giving up on himself a bit and trying to build a better world in his eyes for Ryan growing up. He obviously still has his Homelander issues of where he cares about what people think about him. He wants to be the person in charge. He has that ego in per se, but you can see Anthony Starr and Homelander fighting it out throughout. And I even think this lends to a thing that's working with his Ryan, which he's kind of seeing what the world of Vought is like, and he's kind of not enjoying it that much. He's feeling his moral code kind of go off, and it's just, I think, a very good spot to put him after ending up with Homelander in season 3 finale. I think the whole entire side of Vought is working very, very well, including, I love Deep in his octopus. I love how Deep has this estranged relationship with this octopus that he's hiding. He's kind of learning from Sister Sage, hey, you're kind of a superior being. Don't let people just walk all over you. And he's gaining some new confidence with himself. And whether that's great or bad, I have enjoyed where the Deep is going so far this year. And I think he is a character that is always the comic route. And again, I'm always surprised year after year they find new ways for me to enjoy the Deep. And yeah, Deep works for me this year. In these first 3 episodes. Interested to see if him and Sister Sage kissing is going to be an actual thing there, or if that was something else going on. And then, as far as what else is working for me, is probably going to be Butcher and kind of his different world approach and how he's viewing things now that he has the shorter lifespan coming for him. I think The way he was talking and attacking with Ryan felt so different than previous Butcher. The way he's just going about and being okay with being pushed away from the boys in general, still being for there, still caring for them, but he's not fighting. He wants to do things the right way, which usually for a character is kind of the opposite approach. They want to do whatever they can to get it done before they do pass away. But Butcher has become the best version of himself, which is so weird because usually the Butcher is like one of the worst versions of himself possible. But now that he has this limited lifespan, he's like now acting like a good individual. And I like that about Butcher. I like this character shift change. And I think it's an interesting, just, character motivational change for season 4 here. Um, Things that didn't work for me as much. I mean, this is kind of more neutral, but Jeffrey Dean Morgan, A Train becoming like maybe an informant. I mean, I feel Jeffrey Dean Morgan, we have to see more about his character. He acts fine on screen, but he just seems like he's like the new version of maybe a Butcher like character. And then A Train being an informant and maybe turning, like we get the storyline year after year after year. Whereas with the deep things sometimes feel refreshing and new. A Train felt kind of the same, so it's not the worst thing that didn't work, but it felt like the same thing that I've seen season 2, season 3, and stuff. So yeah, neutral on that. Things that didn't work. I'm not a big fan of the Frenchie storyline going on right now, and a lot of the storylines with the boys. I feel like this season 4, we got to know our characters enough. I've seen Frenchie's demons from the past come out to get him way too many times, and I felt that they've come and they should be able to push across. I can understand Huey's storyline with his father and his mother, but again, it doesn't feel like it's needed for this. I feel like this season should be more focused in on the threat of Vought, and we have so many of these main characters of the boys so literally like so like distracted by so many different storylines and storylines that I felt like we've seen already. I've seen, like I said, I've seen Frenchie having his past come to him. I've kind of seen Huey be upset with somebody and just means he puts all of his focus in that, and he can't really pay attention to the important things. I was really hoping with the season 4 here, we're going to get a boys group that was kind of finally going to come together, had some real backing, and we're going to move forward with an interesting idea. Mother's Milk as the leader. I understand they're using him. This is kind of show like, hey, you're not doing what you need to do here. Everybody's kind of doing their own thing, but again, the boys are so disconnected and their stories are so like, why can't we just focus on the main plot? I've loved these characters enough. I've seen them be split up enough. Why in season 4 are we splitting them up so much that like Bot is catching up and getting ahead of them, in my opinion. I think Mother's Milk as a character is working perfectly fine here, but it does feel a little bit like I love that this actor lost weight and has this different look to him, but sometimes you think this character got recasted, and that's okay. I'm all for bettering yourself, and I know they're acknowledging that in the story, but he doesn't feel as much like Mother's Milk. And again, I guess maybe I can't complain too much because, like I said, Frenchie and others in the boys are feeling more or less like they are just on the regular side projects. I guess I am interested to see where this, the Starlight story goes with their past per se. But overall, I'm pretty positive though on The Boys season 4. I think the pros heavily outweigh the cons. And the action is great when there's action. The gore is just like it normally is. You get your ow wow moments, and the commentary works pretty well. I don't think it's overdriven. Like it's there, it's driven, but I feel like it's all overdriven on all sides. But if I'm going to give the first 3 episodes here a rating, it's going to be an easy platinum. I don't think it's the best the boys has to offer. I do think a lot of the lines sometimes, especially on the boys' sides, felt very flat when they're talking with each other. But the overall story of Homelander kind of having midlife crisis and the really injection of Sister Sage into this world and in Homelander's world, for me, worked very, very good. But tell me your thoughts if you've seen episodes 1, 2, and 3 in season 4 below. Like and subscribe for more boys content throughout these next few weeks, and I'll see you then.